My name is Tracy Metz. I'm the director of the John Adams Institute, the institute in Amsterdam which brings the best and the brightest of American thinking to the Netherlands. The John Adams Institute is also a partner in the conference Design in the City, organized in Amsterdam from April 19th through the 22nd of 2016. One of the speakers at the conference, Design in the City, is Kristien Ring, and I'm sitting here with her to talk about her contribution to the conference. Kristien, welcome. What do you do in daily life in the U.S.?
Thank you. I'm an assistant professor at the University of South Florida. So I teach architecture and community design. But as well, I have a practice in Berlin, Germany, where I reside in the summers, and I'm a curator and do publications and work on current themes in architecture and urban design.
At the conference Design in the City, you'll be talking about the self-made city. What is that?
The self-made city has to do with people taking initiative in their own cities to make it a place where they want to be and they want to live, to make changes that they feel they need, that create new spaces, not only that are temporary within the city, places that are where people have fun, but also new forms of living.
Are people building their own houses now?
Exactly. So it's about how and what processes different groups go through and what goals they have and what they actually even give back to the city and the surrounding neighborhoods by doing so.
Can you give us an example?
The one example that I wrote about in the conference newspaper is called the SPREEFELD. It's along the banks of the Spree River. This is just one of over 300 examples that have been built in the last 15 years in Berlin. And it is one that has so many different goals. Socially, in terms of inclusion, different people that formerly lived in that area, they were worried about gentrification, they were worried about including different peoples of different income levels, non-ownership, long-term development goals, and also at this place, bringing the city to the waterfront, which has more or less not happened in that area. So they're creating an urban experience also for the surrounding communities, but for the entire city, and a precedent along that waterfront, not only in terms of design, but also in terms of how we can develop housing.
But how do they get enough money together to build a big project like this? How many housing units are on this SPREEFELD development?
There are over 64 different units, actually more than that, because there are very different alternative forms of living there, like cluster living and singles, and everyone from every kind of walk of life is included in this project. And it is organized as a Genossenschaft, which is in English an association. A co-op association. So the co-op association is the actual owner of the project, and the people that will be living there are actually members. And there can be more members than actually the people living there. So
it sounds utopian. Does it work?
Yes, it works quite well. It does sound utopian, but it's bringing actually old ideals and old methodologies, in terms of financing and organizational and even legal structures, back, breathing new life into them and rethinking them for today's times.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us any comparable examples in the U.S.?
Well, actually, that's something I'm studying right now. It seems, though, that most of the examples in the U.S. That are in more urban situations, such as in New York or in San Francisco, they are much smaller, and they have not really grown in the kind of ideologies that we've been seeing in Berlin. So
still investor-driven?
Sometimes investor-driven, and sometimes limited architecturally in terms of the kind of ecological solutions that they provide, but also the mixed-use solutions. Mm-hmm. There's not really much mixed use. It's not particularly, the solutions are, the ones that I've seen so far, are not particularly urban. So I'm hoping that a transfer of ideas will bring some fruition, or maybe I'll find something that I haven't found yet. Yeah.
Thank you. Kristien Ring, speaking at the conference Design in the City, video interview for the John Adams Institute. Thank you.